Hello, I am Minister Howard E. Barrett, Jr., founder, chairman of the board, and head minister of the Ethical Humanist Community of Love. We are a religious organization just like any other church. One difference is the last three words of our name. Many churches use the words Church of God or Church of Christ as the last three words in the name of their church. We use Community of Love. That's because the word church is more restrictive and the word community is more expansive. Additionally, since ethical humanists don't believe in a creator God but do believe in love, the EHCL has adopted love as our God. Now I'm wearing a mask not only to emphasize my commitment to the philosophy of weism over meism, but because I don't want my missing teeth to be the story instead of the information I'm about to share. I'm going to share with you a Cunnilingus technique I discovered that is guaranteed to greatly increase the sexual satisfaction of every woman with a clitoris around the world, gay or straight. It is intended that all women watch this video with their significant others. You will not be asked to pay anything for this knowledge. This knowledge is offered to the world free of charge. But should you feel compelled to offer any gift to me for enhancing your sex life, a link is provided where you can instead donate to the EHCL. It is not required that you do so, and if you don't, you'll still have the same information regardless. For the record, I am 3 years shy of 68 years old. I'm in a relationship, and I have neither the psychological nor physical energy to deal with more than one woman at a time. I don't cheat. That said, there's nothing about my disclosure here that is motivated by a desire for sex outside of my relationship. Moreover, if you happen to be a young lady that I provided the link to this video, it was for you to watch with your significant other and not a pretext to get into your bed. Many will think that it is a bit untoward for a minister of any religion to speak on ways of increasing sexual satisfaction. But whereas Creator God religions focus on either getting to heaven or paradise where they can be with their God or reaching a personal state of nirvana, humanism focuses on the human condition, living life more abundantly in the here and now. Also, as humanists, we don't think of immortality in a typical context. To the extent that a humanist does consider life after death, it is in the context of providing, leading, or influencing society with something so monumental that his or her name remains on the lips of others long after death occurs. My frat, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., is such a man. His contribution to civil and human rights has ensured that his name remains on the lips of others to this day, and will likely ensure such for many years to come. Since what I'm about to share will greatly enhance the sex lives of women around the world and their significant others, male or female, my name is also likely to remain on the lips of others long after I'm dead and gone. This is how humanists live on after death. But hopefully this is only one of at least two things that will ensure that my name lives on. Through my nonprofit, Our Common Welfare, soon to be an integrated auxiliary of the EHCL, I intend to unveil to the world my plan that is guaranteed to eradicate poverty. You see, one of the quotes attributed to James Matthew Barrett, creator of Peter Pan, is sort of a rallying cry for me. Those who bring sunshine to the lives of others cannot keep it from themselves. Now, this doesn't mean that I anticipate any boomerang effect from being a do-gooder. This is a mere extension of a long-held belief in weism over meism, a mindset that encourages decision-making based on what is good for the whole of society versus that which is good for the individual alone. But now it's time to expose the technique that you're all dying to know about. And if you hang around for the main course, I'll expose other tidbits for the boudoir that takes even my money move to another level of satisfaction, as well as give brief overviews about poverty eradication and our common welfare. Though most of that info you will only get should you decide to view my much more in-depth companion video, Cunnilingus, the game is to be told, not sold. I decided it was wise to create a companion video for those with the mindset that says, I'd love to send you some money for enhancing my sex life, but donate to a religious organization outside of my faith? I don't know, man. So the other video will get into all of that, and this one will be all about the technique. I mean, we all know that even the most beneficial videos must be kept short in order to get the most viewership. So let's talk about the money move, which many of you will want to try as soon as you get the information. Now that's okay. Just pause the video, try the money move, and then come back for the rest. The video will still be here. One of the things I've always pondered relative to Cunnilingus was the extreme sensitivity of the clitoris. You can't suck on it too hard, which is why a lot of tongue flickering is usually employed. You'll still do that, but what you can eliminate is sticking your outstretched tongue inside the vagina. This causes a lot of stress on the tendon under the tongue called the lingual frenulum. Many of you, like me, have strained this tendon before by trying to extend your tongue inside the vagina too far. You've experienced much discomfort for a day or two afterwards from doing this. Never no more. You will only be stimulating the clitoris from topside and using your finger from inside. Inside, you will use your finger to manipulate the G-spot, which I believe covers the root of the clitoris. Perhaps this is why so much pleasure is derived from it. You may already know about this, but I'll expand on that later just in case you don't. Now, because you can't suck on the very sensitive clitoris too hard, you will do this. First, flick your tongue back and forth across the clitoris, up and down, back and forth, round and round, whatever's your pleasure. Write your name if you must. Most people do this to mix their saliva with vaginal juices so that gradually the tartness fades and sucking it tastes just like sucking your thumb. Then switch up to the money move. Now, I won't be doing any physical demonstrations because I don't want to be accused of being lewd. So you will have to listen to my instructions. What you will do for the money move is encircle your lips around the clitoris, closing out most, if not all, outside air, as if you're going to suck it. But instead of sucking it, you will release saliva from your mouth onto it. You will then draw your saliva back off it into your mouth. You will do this repeatedly over and over with a relatively closed mouth. Gauge her reaction. Mix it up. Money move, flicking the tongue, repeat often. Just remember, whereas either technique is likely to induce climax, when you want it to happen more immediately and intensely, go to the money move. And ladies, the pleasure derived from this technique is far and above any pleasure you may get from shower heads or any of the toys you may possess. Although I'm certain that very soon someone will invent an accessory that will mimic the motion. So go ahead, pause the video, try it out. I'll be here. Okay. Well, now that you've gotten that down, I have a bit more to tell you. But don't worry if you didn't achieve greatness with your first time at bat. Practice makes perfect. Next time, either from the start or after a climax or two, insert either your index finger or middle finger pointing upward. Then gently rub the G-spot. I keep fingernails on both fingers neatly trimmed for this purpose. But long or short, it's extremely important that you have no jagged edges. The G-spot is a soft, fleshy spot that tends to pulsate from touch. It's typically about a couple of inches inside the vagina, almost directly behind the clitoris. But it could be closer to the opening. You'll have to feel for it. When you find it, you'll want to rub and or pet it gently, like this. Now, as she becomes more excited, this area will become firmer. Only then is the time to gradually increase the pressure of your rubbing and or petting. You may even notice that the soft, fleshy area of the G spot extends down towards the mouth of the vagina. If so, start your rubbing and or petting at the mouth and extend upward gradually until you get a feel for the entire G spot area. Stimulating the G spot simultaneously with the oral measures you're beginning to perfect will create even another level of extreme pleasure for your woman. You will notice that when your woman climaxes, not only do her vaginal lips contract around your finger, her vaginal walls will collapse around your finger as well. So when it's time to remove your finger, you'll want to do it very slowly to avoid discomfort for your woman. Also, this is why you can't have jagged edged fingernails, as you will scratch the vaginal walls. For men or women desiring penetration after cunnilingus, I recommend not bringing your woman to climax more than 8 to 11 times orally. Once you get too far past that 11 orgasm range, she's likely to be sexually spent and may lack the energy to perform. Understand that it's not just the number of orgasms she experiences that will drain her, it's the intensity of the orgasms as well. That's because with this technique, she'll likely not to have come completely out of one orgasm before another one starts. So now, all men labeled as 2-minute men can level the playing field because their women will be 2-minute women as well. Now, when men engage in coitus after intense cunnilingus, their woman will climax within 2 minutes, if not immediately upon insertion. But you'll likely have to slowly ease and pry your way inside of her collapsed vaginal walls. But the good part is, once inside, her lips and walls will tighten almost as much as a penis ring that extends the entire shaft. Because of this, men will be able to last longer while their women continue to climax. And penis size will be less of an issue, if an issue at all. I had told a lesbian friend of mine once that an ordinary lover likes to hear the words, I'm climaxing in the bedroom. Now, we were using the other C word, but I got to keep things clinical and PG so I don't antagonize anyone. But an exceptional lover is accustomed to hearing, I can't stop climaxing, I can't stop climaxing. Again, the other C word is more typical. Now their friend will understand more fully what I was talking about. Oh, I forgot. There's a variation of the money move that I discovered a few months back that you should know about as well. Since a woman who has been thoroughly satisfied by her partner develops a sort of body/vaginal memory, she will often become sexually stimulated just from being near him or her. This manifestation can take the form of erect nipples, vaginal throbbing and wetness, or clitoral erection. If your woman's clitoris is erect at the beginning of cunnilingus or even during, you can make this variation of the money move. You can do this. Instead of completely covering the entire clitoris, only cover the tip or no more than half of it with your lips. You'll want to place something under her as more saliva will ease from your mouth, but the teasing aspect of this variation will drive your woman insane with pleasure. This body/vaginal memory will also put your woman in such a state of readiness that many a man will be able to please his woman beyond what is typical for him with his penis only, without including cunnilingus. As a matter of fact, once you perfect this oral technique, and again, it's all because of the body vaginal memory, you should be able to bring any multi-orgasmic woman to multiple orgasms using your mouth only, your penis only, and your fingers only. And finally, as Julio Iglesias and Willie Nelson would say, I have a message to all the girls I've loved before. Because I'm the type of lover who's constantly trying to improve, you have never experienced my money move. I hadn't even thought of it when I was with you. It's a technique that only my present partner has experienced. That means that no matter how much you may have enjoyed our past excursions, if you aren't already experiencing better sex with your present partner, you will most definitely experience sex more abundantly than ever before, including when you were with me, using this technique with your new partner. So make sure that he or she donates. As I indicated earlier, I have no problem with gaining quasi celebrity status as Dr. Feelgood. I mean, who do you know that would? But my true goal is much loftier. I want to be known as the man with the master plan to eliminate poverty. It's simply a plan to move businesses toward a much better capitalist model, one where the employees of companies are the sole owners. Employees will make all the decisions for the companies and divvy up the profit dividends. Having gotten no support from a government nor wealthy athletes, I decided to get the ball rolling myself. Your donations will enable me, through our common welfare, to make interest-free loans to startups who agree to my economic model. I'll start small and go big, but every business will be 100% employee owned. Both EHCL and our common welfare are registered nonprofits in Georgia. EHCL is registered as a religious organization and our common welfare isn't. Excuse me. And though I am a law school graduate, albeit one who never practiced law, I'll hire an attorney to to assure continued IRS tax exempt status. All your donations will be tax deductible, but again, in-depth information on that is in the companion video, Cunnilingus, the game is to be told, not sold. Oh, my bad, there's just one more thing that I must emphasize. Some of you will experience your woman either pulling away from you or pushing your head away from them. Now, this could be merely because of the intensity of her orgasms, in which case she will gradually become accustomed to the intensity and be willing to allow you to take her further in your upcoming lovemaking sessions. But it's just as likely that she doesn't want to feel those very intense orgasms with you because she's uncertain about the longevity of your relationship. Never forget that until you have totally won a woman's heart and mind, she doesn't want to be sexually vulnerable to you. If her heart says that you can't be trusted, or her mind says that you aren't on the same page, there will be a limit as to what she wants to feel with you sexually. Knowing how to please a woman sexually won't ensure your relationship. You must capture her heart and mind for that. Besides, with this video, she'll be confident that any mate that fits her emotional and mental criteria will be able to please her physically as well. So this video won't weaken her resolve to find that perfect mate. It will only strengthen it. So in closing, happy belated Women's History Month. Your historical contributions have been celebrated all last month. Now I offer you your flowers so that you may sexually live life more abundantly. And with assistance from you all, I vow to help America to economically live more abundantly as well. Weism over meism. Peace and love.